What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Straight Off the Hook. I'm Mikey Slayball, and today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about. We love to talk about the good, but today I want to talk about the bad and the ugly when it comes to competitive bowling because it's out there. So in this video, I'm going to quick touch on a couple things that I think are good for competitive bowlers to know, especially you youth out there, and maybe some learning points, and kind of just go over what happened this past weekend and why it led me to make this video. So let's jump into it. So this past weekend, I bowled a regional in Lockport, Illinois, and unfortunately, I didn't take my camera with me. That was actually part of where the weekend kind of went awry. I left my whole camera bag and my camera here at home, and well, we were kind of in a rush to get out of the house. It was a weird starting time. We started at 3 p.m., which is very awkward. And I just kind of felt out of shapes because we were kind of just like rushing to throw stuff around to get out of here. We drive to Lockport, which is about 2 hours. We get there, and this is where the day really went sideways. I'm going to put up my scores right here and show you guys exactly how my day went. Yes, by the way, it was awful. I thought for sure it may be my first tournament where I don't shoot 200 in a block. We didn't, though. We fixed that game 7 and 8. But as you guys can see, the start of this block here did not go well. The reason being, I did not stick to my routine. This is the first point I want to touch on. Routine is crucial. Now, there are some routines for people there are some people who don't need as definitive of a routine. They can have a more lax, loose, not so strict routine and do perfectly fine. Other people like myself need to have a good set routine each time we go and compete because it is something to rely on. When you go in bowl tournaments, there is a form of pressure there. There is a form of anxiety, excitement, the emotions get running, the adrenaline gets going. Even if you've done it 1,000 times, I still get excited to go bowl. So there needs to be a form of consistency to pull you back and get you off of that adrenaline high or the nervous high or whatever it is to get you focused on the task at hand, which may be putting your shoes on, getting your bowling balls ready, and put you in the mindset of getting ready to compete for the day. I did not do that in this tournament. I usually don't eat right before I bowl. I usually eat like 2 and 2.5 hours before I bowl to allow my food to settle and digest. I ate right before we got into the bowling alley, which is something I don't do. I didn't really spend any time kind of zoning in. I take about 10-15 minutes to just sit and be quiet and just start focusing on the task at hand for the day, thinking through the process of which balls I'm going to start with in practice, what do I want to see, where am I going to go from there, and kind of just get my mind mentally ready. I didn't do that. I sat there and talked the whole time. And the reason being is, well, I've kind of been throwing it good lately, and so in my mind, I'm like, I don't need to really, I'm throwing it great. I'll be fine. No. Stick to the routine. Do the small mundane stuff that seems, boring. Do it because it's there for a reason. Find a routine, stick to it. Doesn't matter how complex or how simple it is. Just find something you can rely on each time you go and bowl and try to avoid starts of your tournaments looking like this. All right. Let's get to point 2. And point number 2 is this. You're just going to have bad days sometimes. All right, if you're going to go out and be a competitive athlete, I don't care what sport it is, there are just going to be some days where it's not your day. This happened to be one for me. Now, I'm going to pull back up my scores. Game 1 and Game 2, obviously for the preparation reasons, I struggled Game 1 and 2. Wasn't very sharp. Now, Game 3, 4, 5, and 6. I was sharp. I was there. I was loosened up. I was mentally focused. I was back into it because I really thought I was going to run down this number. Y'all, I threw the kitchen sink, the dog, and the neighbors at it and still couldn't get my ball to strike. I literally did everything in my power. I went right, I went left, I went up, I went down, I went hard, I went slow. Like everything you can think about to do on the lane, I tried it. I couldn't get the ball to go through the pins. There are just some days like that. All right, the guys who were scoring really well, their rev rates were about half of mine, and they threw it about a mile an hour faster than me, and I just kept it right in front of them all day long. I couldn't get my ball to do that. All right. Now, I understand there probably were some layout things that I could have done or had that would have made a bigger difference. And I actually had a couple test balls here at home that, looking back now, thinking, yeah, those have probably been pretty good. But in the moment, I didn't have them. And lesson learned, right? But also this too. I threw it really well after I got out of my mental funk. and I just couldn't strike. All right, and this is where bowling has a sense of humor, because the whole day I struggled to strike, and then finally the last two games, I go 60 over for the last two, right? And nothing changed. The lanes just happened to open up to a point or develop to a point where what I do with the bowling ball started to work. And here is what's funny. The whole day, game 1 through 6, the cut number stayed between -1 and +6. It didn't move from there. The last two games, the number backed up to -35 or 6, something like that. It was -30 something. Meaning, in the last two games of that tournament, I gained 45 pins a game on the cut number. And I didn't throw it any better or worse than what I was doing earlier in the day. It just happened to be that the lanes finally transitioned to accompany what I do with the bowling ball best. And I struck. And some days, guess what? What you bowl on and where you bowl at just may not favor you and what you do with the bowling ball. So what do we do with those days? We laugh about them. We learn from them. I've learned that, hey, there are some layouts I can try and some different ideas that I should bring with me next time I bowl in Lockport, Illinois, or when I bowl on this RPI pattern, right? There are things to learn from and things to grow from, but there's also one thing too. Beating yourself up over a tournament like this is no point, right? Failure is good, all right? Failure teaches you how to grow, right? If you win all the time, are you really growing? Because you're just getting gratification for everything you do. Fail and fail often. Learn to grow from failure and learn to move forward. But also see it in the moment too. When you have days like this, no matter what you try or what you do, you just have to realize, you know what? Some days are just like this. All right? What you do from there is you put your stuff back in the car, you get yourself some dinner, and you go home. And then what do you do after that? It's very simple. You take your bowling balls, you go back to your local center, and you get back to work. Because that's all you can do. All right? Fail often, get back up, keep moving forward. All right? And keep working. That's all you can do. So there's my TED Talk. I hope it helped out some of you younger bowlers. All right, failure's a part of this game. Don't let it destroy you. Learn to grow from it. All right, you guys are awesome. I will see you when I see you, which I don't know when is, but hopefully that's soon. I don't know what I just said. Keep everything straight off the hook. You guys are awesome. I'll see you next time.